for the moment, here is our trusty DM3. So, the DM3, diesel mechanical locomotive. This thing has gears in it, right? So save the manuals. Yes, and that's what we've been doing today. I have not one, but 2 gear shifts, and I'm going to use them with vigor. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to those who are new subscribers as well. Very glad to have you aboard. Hope you enjoy this video today. This is a continuation of my Derail Valley Simulator career mode playthrough. So we are at episode 13 right now, and the weather is really come out in force, as you can see and hear there. It's going to be a thunderous kind of rainy, soggy kind of episode today, I think. Hopefully the weather kind of subsides a bit, but I'm not holding my breath anyway. But yeah, we'll see how we go. It's really looking grey out there at the moment, isn't it? Right, so we are here at City Southwest today in this episode. Now, if you haven't checked out episode 12, I'll put a card up above for that one just now. That is where we acquired the lovely, faithful DM3 diesel mechanical locomotive, which so many of you, I think, on this channel really enjoy me driving. So I figured we'll do another episode today, episode 13, of me driving the DM3 now that I have acquired it since the last episode. And it's coming up to 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so it's a little bit late to be starting a job today in the game. And yeah, but I'm going to go ahead and just get this thing moving anyway. So we've got here 2 jobs, 2 logistical hauls, both going, well, one's going to food factory and the other one's going to machine factory in town. So I've got licenses for concurrent jobs at the moment, so I can do 2 jobs at the same time. So I'm thinking I'll do this one first, where we go up to machine factory in town, haul some empty cars up there, and then we'll do another logistical job after that. We'll basically reverse the train back down, I think, down this way, and then go up towards food factory in town and deliver the second consist. Otherwise, we could go up and around the map like that, I guess, but I think that's going to be a little bit too long. So I'm going to go back down and just across like that and deliver our cargo. So we've got no fees. I've sorted them out off camera. And money-wise, we've got just over $62,000 in the game, so we're making a little bit of money. Not a huge amount, but something. We've got quite a high copay at the moment, and we've got 13 out of 22 licenses. So really am making some progress in career mode at the moment. I've got over half of the licenses in the game so far. Still don't have the elusive DE6 license, but I will be getting that one at some point, I assure you. We've done all manner of things in career mode so far. We've gotten the Slug, we've been driving the DH4. I'll go ahead and just put some cards up above, actually, if you want to see me driving the Slug for the first time there. And yes, the Slug was definitely an interesting locomotive. Locomotive, I guess more of a, not really a locomotive as such, it's more of a helper, isn't it? Really had some fun with that one. Anyway, go ahead and check out that video, that episode, if you haven't already. But for the moment, here is our trusty DM3. So, the DM3, diesel mechanical locomotive. This thing has gears in it, right? So save the manuals. Yes, and that's what we've been doing today. I have not one, but 2 gear shifts, and I'm going to use them with vigor. Right, so just trying to suss out the location here of our consists. Looks like we've got A3S, yes, and that is the location of our first set of wagons. Interesting. We've got some other wagons in the way there, I believe, and looks like, yes, we'll have to turn this thing around first on the turntable because it's facing in the incorrect direction. So let's get it started first. Righto. The trusty DM3. If you haven't seen me drive this thing for the first time, or more or less the first time, I've got a good video, locomotive, DM3 Locomotive Adventures, I called it. I'll go ahead and just put a card up above on that one just now, if you want to check that out. I'll go into a little bit more detail with how this thing works. There's those 2 gear shifts there, and you've got all sorts of gear combinations. I've just put it into 2-1 right now, just to shift up a little bit. There's all sorts of gear ratios that this thing has to offer you. So some people actually shy away from this thing, I found. I was on Reddit recently and I saw that a lot of people actually on the Derail Valley sub seem to rather want to avoid this locomotive because it's a a little bit complex, I think, for some people. And I could understand that when you don't really understand. Once you, if you haven't got the hang of how the gears work, and you're pulling some heavy loads, it can really get in trouble with this thing, because it's not just a point and shoot locomotive. You've got some configuration of the gears, and adjustment of the gears as you drive it as well. So that's what makes it fun, in my opinion. I guess I enjoy those locomotives where you have to put in a little bit of work and just, yeah, have to put a bit of effort to drive it. You can't just point and shoot it like you can with some of those diesel electrics. The DH4, for example, is one example of one of those locomotives. But anyway, this is, I realize, only the second episode where I've covered the DM3 so far in career mode, and I should be doing a lot more videos with it, hopefully soon in career mode. Let me know what you think below. But yes, I do enjoy driving this, so yeah, hopefully we can start pushing more of the limits of this thing soon. I have done videos in the past where I've pulled a fairly decent amount of load with this thing as well. There was a video I did where I pulled up to 650 odd ton with it, and yeah, that was quite interesting coming out of Harbour and Town with that load indeed. Oh, spinning, just locked up the wheels there, I think. You have to be mindful that today it's obviously raining quite a bit in the game, so these rails are very wet right now. And it's a good thing we're not pulling an excessive load today. It's just going to be an easy run. Logistical hauls up to machine factory and food factory. So for those of you who aren't quite aware, these logistical hauls are basically just hauling empty wagons back to their locations to be reloaded by the industry. So yeah, I've got to get this wagon out of the way, I realize. I'm not sure how this thing ended up here. Who knows, I might have even put it here. Anyway, I've just released the brakes on it, and I'm going to go ahead and just get it out of the way. Right, so just pulling up to that wagon now. Just trying to get our lights going as well. There's an interesting setup here for these lights, but anyway. Just want to go ahead and couple up. Actually, I should apply the handbrake because, oh, that's fast. Oh, okay. Not the most graceful way to couple up, but quite literally, I just want to move this thing and get it out of the way already. Just gonna pull forward. Ooh, got some wheel spin. There's those wet rails I was talking about. Okay, so I'm hoping to do this in the fastest possible way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this little carriage behind us into this siding on the right hand side, and I'm just going to do a bit of a bump shunt, or just like an uncoupling at speed, if you will, and get this thing sorted out. So just bear with me while I flip these points over and demonstrate to you how you can do this in the quickest possible way. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm going to close the brake valve on the locomotive. That way when I disconnect the brake hose at speed, I'm not going to apply the brakes inadvertently on the locomotive, because that's what I don't want to do. So back it up with a bit of speed. Okay, then come across here, reach around with a big long arm and just disconnect. There we go. Now, oops, yep, that's going to happen because the brakes have come on the wagon there, but that's fine. Bear in mind here, I'm not showing you all how to do this properly. I'm just trying to do this in the quickest possible way without messing about too much. Right, okay, finally, I'm just going to go ahead and use the comms radio for this one to flip these points, because I want to get this show on the road already. So, yes, that will do, and we'll just go ahead and just go into reverse here, I believe, and we should be in a position now, after applying a little dash of handbrake there, to move this thing into position and couple up to the first consist. So what I'm doing here is I'm just coupling up to the consist that is going to be going to our final destination here first, and then I'll pull in and couple up to the second consist, and that will be towards the end of the train, and that way I can drop that one off at the first drop-off location a lot easier. It's all gonna make sense soon, don't worry. I think I know what I'm doing. Oh, brakes. Ooh, okay, that wasn't too bad. Okay, handbrakes are still on this consist, so that's why it hasn't just been pushed out of the way. You do want it to kind of stay in position there so you can compress the buffers there. There's a DH4 on the left hand side. No. Okay, I'm gonna have to go all the way to the back here and do the last handbrake. Just making my way to the rear of the consist here on the left hand side, and just looking over to the right here, and I think this is the second job that I've got here. CSW LH42, yes, that's it, that's the one. So this is our first drop off here. So I'm going to put these wagons, I'm not sure what's going on there, there's another one of these wagons at the end. Anyway, those empty car wagons, auto racks, those ones I'll put at the rear of the train. And this consist right here, and this is the handbrake we need to take off, we'll put at the front of the train. Righto. Okay, so finally going to get moving here. Need to just go ahead and connect up to that second consist there of auto racks. Nice and easy run today. Not going to be hauling too much weight. Okay, so yes, we'll go ahead and just pick up those auto wagons now, those auto racks. Actually, I'm having a bit of deja vu right now. I believe I may have actually hauled that auto rack in a previous life. I can't quite remember. I could be completely confused right now. That's also possible. Okay, so I need to head on out of here and just onto the siding where those auto cars are, and they're kind of masked by the fog at the moment, so that doesn't help anything. But that's one thing when you're shunting in the fog like this to be wary about is yeah, driving backwards into the fog. Sometimes your train is longer than the fog, if that makes sense. Visibility of this yeah, it's really low today, isn't it, the visibility? I just realized, like, the fog has really come in. It's not just soggy, it's also foggy. It's soggy and foggy. I think that's what I'll name this episode. Soggy and foggy. Okay, so we just need to get our consist, the tail end of our consist here, out of those points, and far enough so that we can flip those points over. And yeah, it's really getting on in the afternoon right now. I think it's going to be more or less night time by the time we reach that first destination. So I might have to spend the night, I'm thinking. I'm just going to get the lantern out and get it all ready to go, because I'm going to need some light in the cab soon as well, I believe. But yes, might have to spend the night at Machine Factory in town, and then the next morning in the game we'll continue on to Food Factory, I think. And hopefully the weather is going to be a bit better for us, because it's really foggy and dreary and rather depressing, isn't it, at the moment? Look at that. Really can't see much of the end of the train there, past probably about half a dozen or so of those wagons, so that's a little bit concerning. Just gonna have to keep going here and just do a little bit of a guess work, I guess. And hopefully we've made it. Let's have a look. We'll go to the end of the train anyway. Right, so this is the last wagon. Oh, look at that! We just made it! Just! Wow! I couldn't have timed that. I couldn't have done that any better, I think. Wow, okay. That was not scripted at all, folks. Right, so let's go ahead and get our second consist here. B1S, that's the Auto Rex that we looked at just before. Got quite a lot of weeds around here, don't we? And yeah, just want to set these points up, because yeah, that fog has really come in, so can't afford to take any chances here. Want to make sure that these points are all set correctly to take us directly into the auto rack location. where we need to be, and I'm not quite sure actually what's that. B1S, C4S, sorry. Yes, okay, C4S, just over there. So this needs to change as well. Very good. And this is correct. Yes, it is. Sometimes just got to look at these points twice. I said that one. Yeah, that's no. What am I doing? Yeah. Okay. All right. I can't even say it's early in the morning. That's too bad. Anyway, and this, my friend, is set correctly. Very good. Very good. Right, back to the, it's a bit of a run now, back to the locomotive, so I'll catch you all in just a second. Just looking at those sun rays come through there, through the clouds. Rather wonderful. Right, here's our DM3 patiently waiting for us where we left it, just on the level crossing there, rather inconveniently enough for any road traffic. But yes, this is our lovely locomotive. Now, I just want to get these lights all set up correctly, because it seems to me like the sun is kind of coming out a little bit. Oops, put the reverser into reverse here. Just spinning the wheels a bit. Come on, come on. I know the rails are really wet, but I want to get this thing moving already. We don't have a heavy load, as I was saying today, so it should be a fairly easy run, but it's just going to be making sure that when we couple up to the auto wrecks here, that we don't just smash into them at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I want to make sure that we come in at a decent speed. And I can't tell where the end of the train is, so I'm just going to have to do some guesswork here and just see where we're going. I might actually just hop out in a moment and let the train coast through into the siding. Hopefully it's not coming through too fast. And hopefully we shall be in a position here to make our way out of City Southwest finally. Okay, yep, I can see those auto wrecks now. It looks like the fog is starting to subside actually. Right, I can see the end of our consist snaking its way through that set of points now. And into the auto wreck siding, so let's get off the throttle completely. We don't want to go any faster than this. In fact, I'm just going to add a little bit of handbrake here just to take the edge off that speed a little bit. And I'm just going to start running to the end of the train. And hopefully we are going with just enough momentum here. Ooh, I'm not going to make it in time. Hang on. Right, well, unfortunately, I was going a bit too slowly and I stopped just short, so I had to go back and just add a bit more power there. But anyway, I'll save you all that the pain of that. So these are the auto racks. Let's go ahead and get them all connected up, and we'll get this thing moving out of here. And we'll go. Our first stop is going to be a machine factory and town. So that's where we will leave these auto racks. Then we'll reverse, and then we'll make our way over to food factory in town and leave these flat cars possibly the next day in the game, because it's getting a little bit late in the game right now. It's around that 5 p.m., 6 p.m. kind of mark. So, right, got to make that long run of shame back to the locomotive now and get moving. Okay, so in we go. I'll signal our intent here, reverser into forward, and let's get some power going. We're in second gear, or 2-1 at the moment, so we really don't need to be starting off in low. Get that lantern moving soon, going soon. So yeah, we've got a few different gear ratios at our disposal here, but I'm probably not going to be using them all today because, like I said, we've got a rather light load today. This is not really a heavy load at all, and we're going to be heading up this way here. There's only a bit of an incline along the way. It's not too bad anyway, so yeah, got 121 ton plus 138 ton I think it was, so really in total it's just shy of about 260 ton there, so Yeah, not exactly a very heavy load. This thing can do upwards of 600 to like 1100 ton, depending on the load or depending on the gradient and the weather conditions. This locomotive can haul some heavy tonnage for sure, but yeah, 250, 60 odd ton is not really that much for it. So I'm just skipping a few gears here. I think it's not gonna. Really don't need to be going through all those gear ratios sequentially. I'm actually in 3-2 and I'm just trying to get this lantern going. There we go. Even with the cab light, it's nice to have that lantern. Okay, so 80 km/h limit. Let's go into top gear here. This is 3-3, so you can see I've skipped quite a lot of gears there. For those of you who aren't really that familiar with the gear sequence, I'll just mention it again. I do mention it normally during almost every DM3 video, I think, but I like to use 1-1. So that's 1 on. Oh, I'm not going to demonstrate it to you right now, but 1-1, 1-2, 2-1, 2-2, 3-1, 3-2, 2-3, and 3-3. I've just shifted down a little bit there because we've got this hill, and we've got the oil temp on the left-hand side there, and that is rising a little bit. So yeah, if you choose a gear ratio that is too hard for the locomotive, like too much of a high gear, you will overheat the gearbox, and that's going to cause problems. So just close up the doors there, just for a little bit more silence. Hopefully you can hear me better and I don't have to scream at you. Right, 100k an hour limit, so that's fine. Let's go into top gear again, and let's lay on the throttle there. Full throttle. We should be picking up speed without too much trouble here because, like I said, not a very heavy load today. Let's get the comms radio out and ready because we do have a junction coming up soon. You can see there the oil temp's a bit elevated, but not too bad. Hopefully all of this is kind of making sense for you, the way I'm describing it. I know it probably isn't. The DM3 certainly has its charms, and there's that junction up ahead that we are going to be coming, that little wide junction that leads us off either to the left or right there. That's our second destination up there, food factory in town. But yes, there's a junction coming up soon. Just going to make sure that we are heading off to the left because we want to go to machine factory in town first. And drop off our first load, then reverse back down, and then head off to the right of that junction, that Y junction. So whilst we're underway, I just want to check out the station map layout here for machine factory in town and just work out where we need to be going and where we need to be leaving our first consist. So B1S, so we need to be in B yard. So coming from the south on the left hand side there, just need to go off all the way to the right, and then B1S. Yeah, once we're in the B yard, then it's the furthest to the left siding there, 1S. As you can see, I'm not sure if this is making sense, but looking at this diagram, going all the way down to the B yard, and then all the way to the left in that B yard. And our junction is coming up soon. There's that sign that says there's the junction, and it's coming up, so I can't even see the end of the train. I can still only see our flat cars. But I must say that weather is really clearing up, so that's good. There's the junction. Just looking out for that set of switches there. I want to see which way they are indicating. It looks like... yeah, they need to change. Quick, change them over. There we go. That comms radio is really handy for that, otherwise we'd have to stop the train. Those oil temps are just elevated the entire time. That's because I'm in top gear and I had full throttle on this entire time. And even with this sort of light load, we were going up a hill, so yeah, high gear. Whoops, we just got a bit of gear clash there. I didn't let off the throttle all the way. But yeah, I've just shifted down there to 3-2. I've just skipped the gear to go down to 3-2 actually. And that's actually the right way to do it, like this, 2-3. Yep, so we've just gone through that set of points there, that junction, and we're heading up to machine factory in town. Like I said earlier, we are going to spend the night here, then in the morning we'll reverse back, and then take a right, and then go all the way across here to Food Factory and drop off that second consist. So yeah, it's going to be a rather easy run today for career mode. It's nice to have these nice easy runs sometimes, isn't it? For those of you who have been following my channel as well, you'll know that I was recently on a little bit of a hiatus. Went overseas there for 2 weeks or so. Well, 2 weeks, I guess you could say. And that was a lovely trip as well. Got to ride some real-life trains overseas. Always nice to get away, but great to be back as well, and back in the controls, behind the controls of a DM3. It is an honor to drive this locomotive today, because I just love driving the DM3. Those wipers are just squealing away. I can probably turn them off actually. Let's go ahead and just do that now. Right. Okay, so without much ado, we are actually here already, and our points are set correct. We just want to make sure that our points are continually set correctly to take us into Machine Factory, into the B yard there. Not quite at Machine Factory yet actually. Let's just keep going. Put the power on! Power on! Oh wow, that's okay. It's not a huge incline, but it is an incline nonetheless. Let's shift down, I think. Let's go back into 3.2. Let's get a bit more revs. Ooh, it's still not that happy. Anywhere from about 600 RPM onwards, I think the locomotive is okay. It is a diesel engine, after all. And it is a very nice little trundler, isn't it, this DM3? And it's a nice change from all the steam engines I've been driving lately as well on the channel. I just don't have to worry about keeping that fire going and having the smoke at the right color and making sure you don't run out of water and blow up the entire engine. That's always nice to not have to worry about those things. 800 RPM now. I think she's a bit happier at 800. What do you think? Sounds a bit happier. Yeah, you know what? I was actually a little bit overconfident with this load today. I was thinking, you know what? It's a light load. It will be easily pulling this thing up. But yeah, these inclines are giving the DM3 a little bit of a workout, I must say. It feels like I've got a brake on somewhere. This is our nice little heater here for the cab. Unfortunately, it's not functional. And even if it was, I wouldn't feel it, would I? I do actually, I don't know what you all think as well. It'll be nice for them to implement some sort of survival aspect into this game. And not, I'm talking about not zombies and monsters or anything like that. Although that would be an interesting sort of Halloween, I guess, theme DLC or something like that. Anyway, that's going off on a tangent if there ever was one. I was just getting at the survival mode there, and I think that was on their roadmap at some point. I'm not sure. I do remember seeing it. There's a little bit of a grade still as we come up into Machine Factory, so gonna have to keep the power on. But yes, survival mode, something like food, water, fatigue levels, things like that. Have any of you played the game Sailwind? I have dabbled in that game in recent times. Haven't got it on the channel. Not sure what you all think about me trying that game on the channel. Very realistic, very physics-based sailing game where you just kind of similar to Derail Valley, I guess. You move cargo around, but it's on the open ocean. But anyway, where I was getting at finally is survival mode. Yeah, I think that might be a interesting thing to have in this game, because then you'd have to make sure that you carry supplies with you and make sure you eat and drink and sleep even. Because there's already a sleeping mechanic in the game to pass the time. I'm thinking, why not have a sleeping mechanic to control your level of fatigue? Now, one thing as well is what happens if your fatigue runs too high in the game. What will happen? Maybe you could see like a drowsy screen effect or something like that. Maybe you could even black out. I'm pretty sure there's games like that. Actually, that's Sailwind. Yes. Anyway, enough of the yammering there. I'm kind of just talking my thoughts out loud here, but here are the lights of Machine Factory and town. Finally, we have made it here. This is our first destination, and we are definitely going to spend the night here, folks, because it's getting rather late in the game, and I don't fancy driving at night time. Like I've said in videos previous to this one, I think there's a better experience for you all as well to just watch me driving during the daytime. I think you can see a lot more, even though it is quite challenging as well to drive at night time. And the lighting effects and all that kind of jazz are quite nice in the game as well, in Derail Valley. That being said, it's just nice to drive with the sun out, and hopefully when it's not too rainy and disgusting and soggy and foggy, as it were. I'm hoping tomorrow's weather is going to be much better in the game. It's going to be a nice sunny day, here's hoping, fingers crossed. And yeah, anyway, I think let's go ahead and just get this all parked up. And I think what I'm going to have to do here is do a bit of a run around. But I think hopefully we've got a free siding here somewhere. So what I'll do is I'll pull in, make sure these points are set correctly. We'll pull in, validate this job right here, get the money for this one. That way we'll make the time bonus. Probably won't make the time bonus for the second job though, because we'll be sleeping overnight here. So at least we'll get the time bonus for this one, I'm hoping. Let's just keep the power going here. Going a little bit slow at the moment. The thing with this DM3 is it's got a lot of torque, but some people complain that it's rather slow. And that is true. With a heavy load, this thing will slow right down. And you've seen that or you may have seen that in my previous videos there. That 650 ton or 658 ton video I did, I put a card up above earlier there. I did experience some real slow running there actually, so yeah, if you want to see that video, I'll put that card up above. That was back at 6 minutes and 16 if you want to check out that video. If you want to scroll back through this video to see that card and click on that, up to you. But yes, otherwise we'll be heading into this siding right here, and we'll be leaving our first our consist of auto racks in B1S, which we've just entered here. And yes, it is very much evening now. It's almost 10 PM. It's just gone past 9:30 PM there, so we'll need to keep going for a little bit here because our auto racks are right at the end of the train. But yes, you see why it's always good to have your consist set up correctly so that you can just do your drop off without too much hassle. I'm gonna have to start putting on the brakes here because we are almost leaving this siding. But obviously I just want to leave those auto racks in this siding, not these flat cars. These flat cars are coming with us still, so we'll get these flat cars out of this siding and just make sure the auto racks behind them are in the siding only. And then we'll have to do a little bit of a run around, I think. Okay, I think this is more or less good enough. Let's go ahead and just jam the brakes on. You know what? I'm just going to kill the engine here, even though that does cause a bit of wear and tear from what I've heard and what I've read. We are going to spend the night here, so I'm going to leave this locomotive where it is and just apply the handbrake here, always handy. I'm going to take this lantern with me. Leave the map inside the cab because we're coming back in the morning anyway. But yes, we are here right now at the machine factory and town, and we are going to do our drop off. Right, so just put lantern down. What I'm going to do here is just disconnect these auto racks here. So this is our first consist here. Ooh, okay, yep. Handbrake on because we need to do that, otherwise we won't get our money. Need to secure these wagons, man. We're just bleeding that air right out. We want to close that brake valve on the end of the train, otherwise we'll be in trouble in the morning. Okay, so that's our auto racks in the siding. Let's go into the station building and get our first lot of money, and then we'll head to bed, I think, in the game, or onto the sofa, as it were, because that's all we really have, isn't it, in the game? There's not. I think there's a bed in some of the stations, but probably not this one. Right, so it's a nice evening here at Machine Factory in town. Just turn off that lantern there. I don't think the lantern uses any resources, but whatever. Okay, 36 minutes. Yes, we have made our time bonus there, so we're getting a bit of extra money there. We've got our base payment. Yep, okay, very good. So that's, I think that was 21 grand. Let's have a look. Yep, up to 84 now. So very good, very good. Time for sofa. So 10:30 in the evening, and we've made it to our first destination. We'll spend the night here. You can see the stars are out, the fog's dissipated. So yeah, machine factory in town. First one done. That's the beauty of these concurrent jobs. You can just make your way around the map and do multiple jobs and just rake in that cash. So here we are, machine factory in town. In the morning, like I said, we'll reverse back down this hill like this, and then at that junction that we've already gone through, we'll just take a right this time, and then head on over to food factory and town. It should be a lovely, lovely day to do that run. Just take the rest of our consist, which is our empty cars, flat cars. So we'll come back and just go over across to food factory and drop off that second load. So yeah, we've done well today. Started at City Southwest, made it up to here, and in the morning we'll come across over to food factory, and that will be our episode, ladies and gents. So let's go ahead and spend the night for now, and wake up nice and early, 6:30 in the morning. So catch you all then. Okay, so it's just after 6:30 in the morning here, as you can see there. It's a lovely, lovely day. What looks like a nice clear day there. Got the sun rays coming through. Got a little bit of fees racked up so far, but not going to worry about them. We'll just push on forward to the morning here and make an early start. And yeah, it would be really nice if they made some sort of coffee mechanic where you could just make a coffee or something like that. You know, just drink your coffee, maybe load your thermos up with coffee. And yeah, that would be really awesome if they put that into this game. But anyway, until then, let's get this thing moving. So I've already set up the brakes. That brake valve from last night should be ready to go. It should not be leaking any air. I'm just running the engine up a little bit there. Okay, I've just stalled the engine there. Okay, something's not right here. I think we're leaking air, folks. We're leaking air. Something's not right. The brakes are not happy. The brakes are not happy. No, brakes are fine. I think it was just the main res actually that needed to be charged up. Yeah, that's fine. Just make sure the brakes are okay. What's going on? I can just hear a bit of squealing. Can you hear that? It's like there's something is still... I think I know what might be going on here. No? Yeah, something is... something's still applied here. I've got some brakes still applied. And I'll bet you it's always the last one. Gosh, I can't even remember. I think I can't even remember if I put that last set of handbrakes on or not. I definitely did on the auto racks, but I didn't think I did on this set of wagons here, this set of flat cars. Oh, there you go. Okay, well that'll do it. We've got the military base here. Look at those hills in the background, aren't they just beautiful? Anyway, righto. Let's make sure we get these lights going correctly. We've still got heaps of fuel. Lights are not set right. Of course they're not. Why would they? I always get these mixed up. I can never quite remember. I think that's better. Yep, that's what we want. That's what we want. Got the headlights on the front. Okay, let's move. I'm in 2-2, so I'm in like the middle of the gearbox. Gear-wise, it's like taking off in third gear in your car. But because I've got less weight on the back now, we should be able to pick up speed. And we'll just go across to the left there and just take that little set of tracks out of here. We've got some nice dry rails as well, so we shouldn't have much wheel spin today. And this second leg here should be nice and easy. Just going to go ahead and just gun it, I think. And get this thing moving. Right, need to pull forward until we get to the end. We need to pass those points with the end of our train first, so we'll do that. I've got to slow down in just a second. Right, I think that will do. Let's go ahead and put the brakes on. And yeah, we'll go ahead. We need to change those points over, so a little bit of toing and froing this morning. Right, 121 ton. I'm going to try and do this from here. You know what? I'm not going to run all the way back there. Forget that. Brakes, come on. It's really not slowing down, is it? That's better. Alright. Come on, come on, come on. Now release the brakes. Yeah, a bit impatient here this morning. Got to back all the way back down to that junction, so let's go, go, go. Let's not hang around here. And the good thing is, with this locomotive, you can go just as fast backwards as you can forwards, because your gearbox is basically, all those ratios work in the same way, forwards or backwards. Yeah, top gear will do that. It's going to heat up the gearbox, and we're getting up to the limit of our oil temps there. I'm going to have to back off the throttle here a little bit. I should be in a lower gear. That's what's going on. I chose too high of a gear, but I just want to pick that speed up already. Right, that's better. Get a little bit of speed going here. Got to reverse all the way out of here, folks. Got to go all the way back down to that junction. So let's not hang around. Just head through this station here. Right, full throttle. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm in top gear. And soon we'll have a bit of a downhill as well, helping us out. Don't want to go too fast, I guess, because then that's how trouble happens. That's how mistakes happen. Oh, going through some points as well there. Oh, it's a good thing we're not going. Did you hear that? I thought we were in range of a service point. Just heard a ding. Yeah, going through these points a little bit quickly, but that's fine. Yep, okay, so here comes a bit of a downhill now. We've got to keep going. So we're more or less around here right now. We've got to back it all the way down, back to the fork right here, and then head off to the right-hand side. Now there's a bit of an incline at that fork, so we'll be starting on the hill, and then we'll be heading over to the right. Right, okay, well, I'll catch you all in just a moment as we get closer to those points. Oh, so going through those points rather fast. There's our junction. Jam on the brakes! Jam on the brakes! And we can see there that we need to flip those points over. So we'll get the comms radio out for this one as well. Probably, I think, a bit late on that brake application. We're well and truly now planted on this uphill section. So... and there go those points over to the right, which is how we want them. Now we're going to have to start on a hill here. Thankfully, we don't have that much of a load, so dry rails as well. Just going to get the brake off, put it into low, and it should be a cakewalk to get started. I'm not going to apply a throttle till the brakes start to release here. Ooh. Oh, no, we're in reverse. We're in reverse. Oh, God, no. That's the second time I've stalled it today. Okay. Right, low, we'll sort it out. And we'll shift up in just a moment here. Let's get off the throttle. You know what, I'm going to go into 2-2, skip a few gears here. Even though it's a hill, we've only got about 120 odd ton behind us, so it's not that much in the grand scheme of things. It really isn't. So I'm just going to work my way through the gearbox here. Okay, so here we are, just making our way through the points, and we'll be heading off in this direction shortly, snaking our way through and over to Food Factory and Town. You know what, I'm going to start going into top gear already, because why not? We can afford to pick up the pace now. We've got a rather straight section of track ahead of us, so just close up the door there. Okay, 80 k's an hour, so shouldn't be a problem. This thing will only top out around 60 odd k an hour anyway, but yeah, we're more or less snaking our way upwards now, heading in a northeasterly direction. Woohoo! Okay, the red line of the engine there, 1000 RPM. Okay, 70 k's an hour, and you know what? We are doing 65. So let's get the brakes on just a touch here. I'm just worried that we're going slightly too fast. Just keep tabs. Keep the speed under control. Maybe that was a little bit too much braking actually. Slowed right down now. The brakes are... Why are the brakes taking so long to come off? Maybe I'm just being impatient. We slowed down too much, I think. Just a little bit too much, but I guess better safe than sorry sometimes. Just winding our way through the valley. I'm going to shift down a little bit. Just give us a little bit more revs. Back to 2.3. We are almost at 1000 RPM though. That's our red line, so I'm going to have to shift up here. Back into top. We're doing about 700 RPM, so that's fine. Sweet point, sweet zone, I guess, for the engine. I love the way this DM3 sounds. The engine sound, the gearbox whine, it's all there. It's just, it's lovely. It's a lovely drive. It's satisfying in so many different ways. You've got the sounds, just the feel of the engine, and this thing's got some power as well. I mean, it's ahead of the S060 steam shunter. And it's definitely ahead of the DE2 when it comes to hauling capacity, I mean. And with all of this interactivity, it's still a diesel engine at the end of the day, so you still get the convenience of having diesel. Right, so we are making our way across the map here, going a little bit fast, but why not? I estimate that we are kind of in that region there, I guess. Ooh, 50, got a 50 coming up. Oh, we're doing 55. Yeah, we're pushing the limits a little bit here. Just got to keep on going, keep on going. If we're not careful here, we're really getting into trouble. So 70k now limit, and then increasing. So okay, back onto the throttle. Why not? Let's see, maybe we will make the time bonus after all. I'm not sure if sleeping is counted. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's actual drive time. I'm not sure. What do you all think? Maybe leave a comment below if you know anything more. I'm sure you know more than I do in a lot of respects, so happy to take your feedback on this. Does the time bonus apply, or does time pass when you sleep? I think it does. Then again, not sure. As in, does the duration of the job, does sleep time count? I don't know. Alright, so we gotta leave this in C1S, so let's go ahead and just suss that out, because we will be there before you know it. So food factory in town. Oh, nice. Okay, so straight into the sea yard. Just go straight ahead. And then, over all the way across to the left-hand side there. Excellent. Alright, well that's fairly straightforward, isn't it? I think we shall be there very shortly, folks. And I think I'm going to derail in just a moment if I don't keep the speed in check, so... Alright, I'll check in with you all in just a moment because we're not far now. Just keep the speed going. Okay, we are pretty much there, folks. Just slowing it down a little bit because we are just on the outskirts of Food Factory in town. And there's a rather sharp downhill section here, so don't want to have the train run away from us. That's not what we want at this late stage of the game. I believe there's a tunnel coming up soon. But right after that, we're going to have to make sure that, well, I'm going to have to make sure that the switches are set correct. Just getting on the brake here a little bit because here's the tunnel. I'll just signal our intent here, just warn everyone of our arrival. Okay, points so far look okay. Let's get off the brake. Just going to roll on into the station here, folks. Into the siding. So that set of points is correct. Another quick buzz of the horn. Yes, that's correct. I just had this panic for a second there. I was like, no, that's not right. But yes, it is. Otherwise, would have been in D yard. Okay. Wait. Actually, what am I doing? Yes, that's right, isn't it? Need to be in... yeah, that's it. That's fine. I just had this moment there where I was... never mind. Pull forward. Everything's fine. Oh, did a bit of damage there. A bit more damage to the gearbox, slightly. Not what we want. Okay, C1S. That's what we want. So let's pull in here. 3-1. Let's go to top gear. Why not? There's no hard and fast rules for shifting this thing. Whatever works and doesn't blow up the gearbox or the engine. And you can actually blow the engine up if you downshift into too low of a gear, if you're moving too fast, that's for sure. And that's a very expensive way to ruin your day, especially in career mode, because repairs on this thing are not cheap, that's for sure. Okay, yep, I think we stopped it more or less in, yep, in the perfect position. So, handbrake on. We are here at Food Factory in town. This is our second and final consist to drop off. So you know what, there's our station office. I'm going to go ahead and just shut this thing down. I'm just going to pull it forward slightly. Handbrake on. And this is where we will be leaving this locomotive for the next episode, because I am looking forward to driving this again. And we'll just have to see what jobs we have for episode 14, won't we? Because just keep the brakes on. We've got the handbrake set, that's fine. Something's leaking, that's fine as well. I think that might be the wagons behind us. Anyway, let's go into the station office and validate this job. Let's see if we can't make that time bonus. We'll find out in just a second, won't we? If we have made it or not. I'm not sure why I need to light up anyway. Oh, yes? No. Yes! Yes, made the time bonus. Excellent. We have gotten 30 grand for that one. So we definitely made that time bonus. Right, well that's excellent. 114 grand now that we've got in the old kitty. You know what? We've pretty much doubled the amount of money in the wallet in this episode. We had about 60 odd K when we started, didn't we? And look at that DM3 out there. Look at it. It's just sitting there waiting gracefully for the next episode. And I cannot wait, ladies and gents, to take this for another spin in the next episode. And there's a few jobs here. It's lunchtime in the game. We had a nice early start today. So here we are at Food Factory. Anyway, in career mode, episode 13 has left us here. And yeah, well, we have a number of jobs that we can do. Just going to put all the shunting ones off to the side there. Yes, because I'm not really a big fan of shunting. I mean, it does bring in the money, but it doesn't really get you anywhere. I mean, you don't move from place to place. Harbour and Town, got a few jobs to Harbour and Town. Ooh, got a 420 ton load there, that one. I think that was hazmat, and this one's hazmat as well. Okay. Well, you know what? We do have the hazmat license from memory, so maybe we'll do this one in the next episode. 504 tons to Harbour and Town. Delivering some alcohol. How about that? I think maybe we'll be doing that. Hopefully we'll still find this job in the next episode. Going down to Harbour and Town, we'll be snaking our way down this way in the next episode, I think. Now we can... there's a few different ways we can get to Harbour and Town. We can also go over this loop like this, and we can come down this way as well. So there's that. There's a few different ways of getting to Harbour and Town from here anyway. So yeah, that one I think. 504 ton. 54 grand. I think that might be the way to go for the next episode. We did start off at City Southwest today, and yeah, we had a fairly successful run. We did our run to Machine Factory and Town. We did our first drop off there, as you saw. And then we came back, and then we came up to Food Factory, which is where we are. So, yeah, in summary, that was a very successful run today. But yes, next episode, 504 ton. Let's take this alcohol and deliver it down to Harbour and Town. I think that would be a good one to do. And, yeah, let me know anyway in the comments what you think, what you thought. And we'll go from there. Thank you once again for watching. If this is your first video you've seen, I hope you've enjoyed this very much. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much as well for joining me once again. Hope you enjoyed this. And yes, we will be continuing in career mode of Derail Valley Simulator. Those roosters just will not stop, will they? Yes, got about $10,000 there of, or 11 grand odd of fees. Regular wear and tear, as it says. We'll go ahead and sort that out. That's not a big problem at all because we've got a lot of money in the old wallet, so we'll sort that one out. And yes, we'll get it all sorted for the next episode anyway. So thanks so much for watching once again, and I'll see you all in the next one.